Good day, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about why Xiangling is overrated. Now, I know there are going to be people that are just going to watch the video title and then they're just going to jump into the comment sections and then they want to bun fight. Understand this. When I say unit is overrated, it does not automatically mean the unit is bad. A unit can be overrated and still good. A unit can be overrated and still above average. And that's what I think Xiangling is. She's a good unit. There's no argument really there. It's just the extent to which she's a good unit is under contention. And also for everyone that always asks me, what's my build, here's the build. In case you don't know, we're always just going to run some background footage, so this is just purely for your entertainment. And no, I've shown my Kokomi build a bazillion times, so I'm not going to show it again. So let's get back to the topic. We need a good definition of overrated, and this is my definition when I say Xiangling is overrated. The extent or degree to which the arguments in favor of her utility hold is overvalued by the community. In other words, all the reasons people give for her being a good unit, well, they're just a bit exaggerated in my opinion. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of like going bullet point by bullet point, I'm going to talk about two broad aspects regarding Xiangling, and these two broad aspects will be like sort of on screen right now, and this is why I think Xiangling is overvalued. Her potential is conditionally emergent, and I'll talk about what that means, and the extent of substitutability for clearing and team building makes it such that she's just overvalued. In other words, she's a sufficient unit if you want to clear content, but she's by no means necessary. So let's take each of these 2 points and talk about them in greater detail. What I mean when I say Xiangling's potential is conditionally emergent, what I mean is you need a well-built Xiangling to get value. And in simple English, you need a proper team to bring out her potential. It's not like I've just got Xiangling there for automatic value. The very fact that she just exists gives value. No. Xiangling requires a team, and in particular, unless you're running only Sukokomon team, she prefers having a Bennett by her side, and bonus points if you throw in a Xingshu as well. So a lot of what Xiangling's value is actually only realized at the higher end once you've got those artifacts, once you've got those talents, and once you've got those constellations. So this is what I mean. So Xiangling is overrated, but she's overrated because you actually need to build her like most units in the game. So you might say, well, what units aren't like this? What units can you, or what units that can simply by literally just existing give you value? Well, a unit like that is none other than Kokomi. I mean, you can run a level 1 Kokomi with a level 1 Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer with level 0 tenacity of the middle 4-piece artifact set, and the character literally just after pressing E will give you value in the Spiral Abyss, no matter how well built the rest of your team is. That is Kokomi. Kokomi's got this unconditional value that she provides. It's not emergent, it's not dependent on having good artifact sets. And hence, from this perspective, you can understand why I think Xiangling's a bit overrated. You still need a good Xiangling to get results. Now, the second aspect that I want to touch on is the idea of Xiangling's substitutability in different team comps, and this is fundamentally tied to the idea of damage distribution. Now, it is no secret to anyone that you can very comfortably clear the Spiral Abyss as an F2P without Bennett Gasp and without Xiangling by extension, well within with 9 stars. And in fact, the team that you can see on screen, well, I've sort of done something very interesting. I went onto YouTube and I looked at an F2P Rider National Clear, a well-invested one by the way, which is linked in the description. Please look at the channel and support the guy. It's absolutely wonderful. But I sort of took his clearing times and I've matched it for his first 2 floors at least to the second with this team comp. In other words, the exact same outcome that a Rider National team can achieve is what I can achieve with units that are not even fully built, except of course for the Kokomi, which is absolutely cracked. So this is the interesting thing that I want to talk about. Xiangling is a good unit, but you can substitute her out, and there's a variety of team comps that can do effectively the same thing, or they can achieve the same outcome, and that's fundamentally due to the idea that you can distribute your damage in Genshin Impact in a variety of ways. And this is ultimately what makes characters so unique. So in the background, you can see my Xiangling is, of course, hitting Pyronados with Bennett's Elemental Burst. And she does roughly, I mean, if it's a crit, by the way, about 40 k DPS per second, and then it's gone. So for the period that she is obviously hitting that 40k DPS, are there other units in Genshin Impact that can hit 40k DPS? Well, yeah. In fact, if you've got a properly built Ride and Eula, you can certainly, even if it doesn't look like it, get to a threshold of 40k DPS per second very easily. You can very easily build a Taser team comp where all the little individual numbers and all the swirls, and this is, by the way, the secret behind the Sukokumon team, all these numbers just popping up on screen can very easily exceed 40, 50, 60, even 70k DPS per second. And this is the thing, how do you want to distribute your damage? Do you want to stack all your buffs like we're doing here with Xiangling? Do you want to put all your damage into a single hyper carry? Do you perhaps want to spread out your damage between all 4 of your team members very equally? In other words, like what you can see in a sort of Shenhe monocryo sort of variant type comp. There are lots of ways in which you can dish out damage, and this is the thing that not a lot of people talk about. You just need to find what is the sort of method that is effective in dishing out that damage, and one that conforms to your playstyle. And speaking as someone that's played this game with a variety of units, I've played like so many characters in team comps. I've got a very good sense of how I want to sort of build like a team, how I want to get these little Legos like built, this little pieces of the puzzle, and exactly what each unit is going to contribute in terms of damage and how they're going to contribute that damage. And once you start playing with Genshin Impact, and Genshin Impact's not just a, oh, okay, just Xiangling because the new unit's not F2P friendly, blah, 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 and whatever people can think of. Once you get to that point, you realize that this game is so rich and so open, and and again, it points to the fact that because you can dish out damage in a variety of ways, Xiangling becomes a tool, one of the tools in your like entire arsenal that you can use to get that damage on the screen. And that is essentially my argument as to why she's overvalued, because people cannot see that there are different ways of achieving the same outcome as quickly. And yeah, that is the essence or the crux of my 2 arguments. So hopefully you guys understood it. I know it was a bit like technical and so on, but at the end of the day, I think people sort of tunnel vision, because they tunnel vision in a certain sense because they've got certain units well built, and whenever there's like a new kid on the block or on the banner, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but is this really worth it? Why not just Xiangling? And I think if in the long term, at least, if you've got this myopic view, you're not going to have a very rich gameplay experience. And this is what I sort of want to tend to promote on my channel, is giving people the opportunity to experience or understand that there is a way to enjoy Genshin Impact in a variety of ways, like I'm going to do on screen now, and that is Death by Jellyfish to Magukenki. Absolutely funny. But yeah, guys, if you've got any questions, if something wasn't clear about what I've said, let me know down in the arguments, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And for all my fellow Kokomi mains, can't wait for Kokomi rerun. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have lots to talk about. Have a great day. Cheers.